The name of this place is Hickory Winds Farm. The hickories now are pretty much history, I guess you'd say. And we definitely got the wind.
The work looks never ending for Jeff Edwards right now, as he's joined by family, neighbors, and his constant companion.
That's my dog right there, old Yeller. She's a good one.
This morning, about 12 trees were uprooted on his property.
Been in this area all my life. Got a cattle farm.
He wasn't home when the winds hit.
Like my plastic's about to blow off my roof. I gotta fix it again.
But he got a panic call from his wife.
Oh God, she was hysterical. Thank God she wasn't hurt, you know. Everything can be replaced, you know, except for her. So, God blessed us.
From his land, Jeff can see the damage to his Industrial Park Drive neighbors' homes. This cleanup is happening through a lot of his county today. Miles away near Possum Hollow Road, this front porch has been shifted, made crooked. A sunroof has been ripped off the back of the house and blown into the front yard. The gentle breeze blowing now shows no indication what was happening here just a short while ago.
I got this far and I had to sit down.
Yeah.
In moments like this, Jeff says it's good to have those reliable friends and companions.
She's a good old dog. Happen anywhere at any time.
Well, you got a hole in the roof, but you still got a roof.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just trying to make a living, and stuff like this happens, you know.
USA!
Stand there.
It's been a long wait for the families at Fort Campbell.
It's fine, Daddy.
The signs letting their soldiers know just how proud they feel. But no one could feel more pride than this grandmother.
Soldiers are already here.
Yeah.
With the soldiers getting off the buses outside, Mary lays in the hangar waiting for Specialist Shane White.
Always been my favorite, and we just love him dearly. He's serving the country, and he's protecting us and everybody.
Mary's lived a life of big homecomings
Hey, Luckett, get your butt over here and kiss me.
after long waits.
A day is too long.
Her son was in the Marine Corps. Now she waits for her grandson to come home.
It's hard knowing what's going on. It's always on your mind.
The hangar's filled with reunions, soldiers back with those little faces they've missed.
Do you see him?
But in the middle of all those uniforms, Mary hasn't seen her grandson.
I don't know.
The family tries to spot him over the crowd. And then, finally, the wait's over.
Hi, darling.
I'm so happy to see you.
I'm so happy to see you. I love you.
I love you too, Nana.
It's been a long time. Oh, he's so proud of you. Mom, lean in.
Mary says in a life of waiting, nothing beats days like today. Coming into Big Sandy, there's Melton's fill-in station on the right.
Thank you.
It's been here since the early 1940s, opened by the grandfather of Sonny Melton. One thing you learn fast in Big Sandy, everyone here knows Sonny Melton.
Sonny was no different than another brother to me.
He played baseball with my youngest son.
At 29, people around here say Sonny made a name for himself as a nurturer. It only made sense he'd be a registered nurse working the emergency department and ICU at the Henry County Medical Center. And everyone knows just how taken he was by wife Heather.
It was always something about Heather, you know. He was, crazy about her.
Taking a trip from the home they were building here in Big Sandy, Sonny and Heather were celebrating their 1-year anniversary in Las Vegas.
Senseless, yeah. My heart goes out to all of them.
Heather told News 4 in a message, "He saved my life. He grabbed me from behind and started running when I felt him get shot in the back."
That doesn't surprise me. I think he'd have done it for a complete stranger.
I think it was just second nature to him to do something like that.
It's just the kind of person he was.
Today at Melton's, people are still pulling through to fill up, still getting their usual.
227.
But there's a heaviness to it.
I'm gonna cry now.
For people here, Melton's is even more than the name long in the old filling station.
Definitely the hardest loss that I've ever dealt with.
is a young man's name they'll always admire for what he did.
He loved her, you know. He loved her.
Oh, I see him a lot. He walks the streets all the time.
Pretty much everybody in town probably knows who he is.
Here comes John. They say, oh, John is on his way.
People in Waverly can't remember a time when they didn't see John L. Mays out walking every morning.
All my life. I'm 73.
A man with autism. People see him passing the storefronts, the dewdrop fences, walking his route.
He goes from one end of town, plumb down the other end of town.
Visit people at the hospital, the nursing homes.
Then there are the many, many stops here. The Humphreys County Funeral Home.
I couldn't even begin to even imagine the number of funerals that he's been to here.
Every time somebody passes away here in the city of Waverly, he always there.
A beautiful, beautiful person.
Known in Waverly as the Funeral Man. People remember when John L. took a seat in here on their family's hardest days.
My sister in 2013.
I had my aunt, she passed away.
Yeah, my father.
That my family member was special enough to come and pay his respects, that's just a very, very big blessing to me.
But today, John L., the Funeral Man, isn't out on that daily walk. John L.'s passed away at 89 years old.
I don't know what is going to take place because he's gone, you know.
But after he attended all the funerals here for all those decades, Waverly believes it's time to repay the Funeral Man.
The whole town has chipped in, helped John, buried John. We're taking care of this man.
There are hardly enough pages to contain all the guests. Standing room only.
All I can say about my brother, he touched everyone's heart. Everyone.
As children, some taunted John L. But then as the children grew up, they began to respect him. They began to honor him. We all say we could be just like him, we'd be better off. I don't think any of us can come close, but I think that's what we should strive for.
With Waverly watching, John L., the Funeral Man, goes on his route one last time.
Ain't gonna be another man like him. You know what I'm saying?
We know that John's in a better place. Just makes me want to go there more, knowing John's going to be there.
There's a place in War Trace where the faces of outlaw gangs and rustlers hang on jailhouse walls. A place of a harsh justice. But a ghost town, this is not.
I can't stand card cheats.
They're called the War Trace Regulators. They built this place for their cowboy action shooting competitions, dressed like a motley frontier group from a John Ford Western. And all eyes are on this quick draw.
Go get him, Dick.
That's Kathy Burris, known around here as Dodge City Dixie.
I have a competitive nature. I just kind of go whole hog.
She's a retired executive assistant, a grandmother, an embroidery enthusiast, a gunslinger.
I think they said I missed one, but I'm not too sure I believe them.
Dixie says her inspirations are everywhere out here.
Now, Papa Dave, he's my hero.
She's talking about David Bruschke, still playing cowboys at 82.
I never grew up, though. I'm not competing against the young guys, even though I could. And believe me, it's a lot better than shooting paper.
Like Dixie and Papa, the cowboys out here are from all walks.
I'm Chickamauga Slim.
He's an IT teacher.
Nandahela Ned.
College professor.
I miss too often.
Retired forklift mechanic.
Tennessee Missy.
13-year-old student.
Half of them I don't know their names.
I only know them by their cowboy name.
I'm Joe Dirt.
Judge 'em all Duncan.
But Dixie says that's the beauty of this place.
It's just a family atmosphere.
Everyone's drawn here by a shared love of those westerns with their high noon duels and cinemascope.
Hook, line, and sinker.
The rain coming in. A wild bunch heads into town. And the cowboys who love you so true. Remember the Red River Valley. A family forged through the lessons of the Old West.
It's what I've prayed for. Never give up. Never give up.
66 years. That's how long Rex Cummings has waited. Wife Deborah stays close as he finally gets this chance to say goodbye.
Yes, that means a lot.
To a man he never met. In the late 40s, Robert Cummings was a Michigan boy, ready to join the Army. He ended up here at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. It was a post surrounded by acres of farmland, those distant helicopters barely cutting through the quiet at night.
He enlisted right out of high school. He was 18, and I think he just wanted to serve our country.
1950 brought the beginning of the Korean War. Deployed and now a sergeant, Cummings would write back to wife Melba asking about their child due in the new year. Rex says one of those letters sent home was dated November 17th, 1950.
I'll never forget what that letter said. He couldn't wait to get back home. He'd let my mom know how much he loved her, how much he couldn't wait for me to come, and he thought they would be home by Christmas. And then the next 10 days is when he was missing in action.
The final artillery shell of the campaign was fired with a rakish gesture by the weary UN troops.
By July 1953, the war was over.
Peace had come to Korea.
But there were still no answers about Sergeant Cummings, one of the thousands of Korean War soldiers missing in action. The family stayed in the area in nearby Clarksville. Years, decades passed. The city grew. Rex married, had children who became adults here themselves. Then, in the past few months, before Rex turned 66, there was a call.
I couldn't breathe, but when it soaked in, it was just amazing, and it had come true.
According to the Defense Prisoners of War Missing in Action Accounting Agency, Cummings was identified and remains returned to the U.S. by North Korea.
66 years of emotions just flooding in. That was probably the hardest part. But it was also, in my heart, the most joyous, because I knew he was home. Even though I lost my dad, I've gained a family. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the military.
Rex says during those 66 long years, what helped him along were stories of other soldiers finally found after waits spanning decades. Now, he hopes it's his story that can give comfort to someone else in the same way.
God will answer your prayers. you know, with everything going on in the world, you know, I knew I was on that list, and he got to me. So just never, never give up.
Cause it's a brand new day. The sun is shining.
At 17 years old, these lyrics feel like they sum up life right now.
And for the first time
for Raymond Cruz.
I've never had a song that hit me so hard. I know.
But even though the song's so personal, Raymond says it's somehow not right
That I'll be okay.
without Mark Stavis.
Cause it's a brand new day.
Their bond through music didn't spark on a stage or in a studio. It happened here.
I got diagnosed in January. I had a tumor wrapped in my nerve system, close to my esophagus, and we were really worried about it.
After learning about his cancer, stage 4, what Raymond wanted was honesty. That's when, at Vanderbilt, he met his oncologist, Mark.
I caught him off guard because I looked at him in the eye, and I said, "What are you worried about the most?"
And I said, with this type of cancer, often we can make it go away for a while. The question is, will it come back or not?
I had full trust in Dr. Stavis. He would tell me if something really bad would happen with my treatment.
And saying, we're going to go forward together in full faith and honesty, no matter what happens. I think that's what hope really is.
For Raymond, that truth was key. It was Mark who introduced him to a song.
'Cause it's a brand new day.
Rehearsals began as the Franklin Brentwood Arts Academy and Allegro Music and Dance Academy worked together for a charity concert.
And for the first time in such a...
Raymond was on the bill. What that presented was a chance for Raymond to perform on a stage that's hollowed Nashville ground. A chance to perform here.
And I was like, yeah, I got a huge opportunity. That song has been with me through my whole radiation.
But Raymond says there's only one way he could take that stage. If he could be joined by the man who helped him get there.
'Cause it's a brand new day. The sun is shining. It's a brand new day. And for the first time in such a long, long time, I know that I'll be okay. Me and Dr. Stavis got rid of this tumor in my body. I'll never forget that God gave me an angel to sing that song with.
So you like a regular spit shine?
Spit shine, please.
Spit shine.
Nashville's coming into work. But before they head up to that meeting,
So we get this good and clean.
they come see Carlos, the Music City shoe shine man.
It's the first coat. I know you're gonna try this at home. Don't try it, you'll burn your shoe. My grandfather taught me, if you had a job that you really love doing, you'll never work a hard day in your life.
Growing up in that grandfather's shoe shine parlor,
He taught me to shine. Started me with the brush.
Carlos has the tools, the know-how
It's just like waxing a car.
to a perfect shine.
He made this shoe shine box here when he was 14 years old. I put all my polish in it. That's a spit shine, and this is a regular shine.
And that grandfather taught him to get the perfect shine always
3, 2, 1.
7 minutes flat.
Tell him if it don't gloss, it don't cost. If it don't shine, it don't cost him a dime. He get the same shine as last time.
I always have to get him to get me ready.
But not everyone who steps up to his chair knows just who is Carlos's grandfather.
He played harmonica and banjo. He was known as the harmonica wizard.
D. Ford Bailey was born in 1899 in the Bellwood community of Smith County.
Whether them giving him a pacifier, when he would cry something, they gave him a harmonica. He had polio. They said he would never walk. So he proved them wrong.
He used those years of sickness to practice his craft, mimicking the sound of an L&N Railroad train that passed his Smith County home. Bailey brought his sound to WSM Radio, the first performer to be introduced on the Grand Ole Opry. But hitting the road, Carlos says life wasn't easy for his grandfather, being a black performer in the 20s and 30s.
I think that was back when they called it the Jim Crow days. He endured a lot. He wasn't able to go in the front door with the musicians, couldn't eat with them.
When D4's baby played his harp so sweet, it touched your heart and made you smile down deep. Oh.
I shined by day and sang by night.
Carlos D. Ford Bailey says he's playing historian, doing his best to do his grandfather's legacy proud.
Until I'm gone. Kick it, Jay. I think that's very important. Let him know who he was, what he was about, and even what he endured, he stood tall.
Thank you. Carlos D. Ford Bailey. Thank you, sir.